How y'all doing? If you're watching this video, you already knew who I am. My name is Keith, and you also know that I have for years had a deep and abiding love for music in all its forms as a pure form of expression. So, as a 30-something parent who doesn't have a lot of time to devote to much of anything outside of the full plate that I already have, I don't have a lot of time to play with people, with other folks who are playing music, and I don't have a lot of time to write music. But I had a thought the other day that that would be kind of cool, where I would take different songs, or recognizable songs that people know, and kind of put them together into an easy form that anybody can learn within a few minutes. So instead of taking each song and breaking them down into their component parts between different instruments and whatnot, it's basically going to be just me and my trusty old Takamine here, which, as you can hear, needs new strings desperately. We'll get to that later. So, my goal here is to besides making a complete idiot of myself, is to let people who may not have a lot of time, like myself, or who may be beginning and want some quick results on how to play certain songs, to give them kind of a leg up and maybe spread the music around and let anybody learn it. So if you go out and you go to a yard sale and you pick up a $25 guitar and you spend 20 minutes learning this and sound better than me, which you should, that's great. I spent several years in various bands, and I just don't really have time to do that anymore. And I find that when I do have time, then no one that I know has time to get together and play. And actually having a band and playing out, it's pretty much impossible these days. So I was mostly a bass player, so I'm not much of a guitarist. I've kind of taught myself over the years, and well, anyway, I try. But what the song I was working on, or that I'm going to do first, and this is going to be kind of a series of lessons, and I'm going to call it, I don't know, maybe Keith Miller's One Guitar Arrangement, Easy Arrangement for 30-something parents. Haven't really thought of a catchier title yet, so if you have any ideas, let me know. But the song I was going to do first is a old favorite of mine. It's called, the title of it is Creep. It's by a band named Stone Temple Pilots. So if you have the song, listen to it, and you might be able to recognize it from what I'm playing here. And I'm going to try to throw a couple of different things in. I'm not going to play the whole song, and I'm just going to give you the basics of how it goes, and you should be able to pick it up, learn it, look up the lyrics, learn the lyrics, and be able to play it, just, with a few practice sessions. So there's 4 or 5 different chords that we're going to go over, and just a couple little runs and things to kind of get the song rolling. So the first chord we're gonna look at is the E minor 7. Now, if you're an advanced player, come on. If you're an advanced player already, you don't need this video. Stop watching and go, I don't know, play Xbox or something. But if you're not, or if you just like me that much, then
keep watching. But the first chord we're going to look at is the E minor 7. I'm not going to show you how, or not going to try to tell you how to make these chords in this little mini video. Just look them up. Fingerings are easy for them, and they're all pretty basic chords. The song itself is a very well composed song, but you know, we can kind of throw it or simplify it down to where one person with an old acoustic can play it and sing it by themselves in front of people, drinking a few beers on the deck. I don't know, whatever it is you do. So anyway, back to the E minor 7. I'm tending to ramble because it's kind of late here. E minor 7, which I think is a really nice chord. It's kind of pretty. And that's kind of the basis of the whole song, is that E minor 7. Then we're going to do a C chord, just a regular old C, and then a B7. Now, if you're a fan of the blues or any kind of blues-based or blues-inspired music, you should be familiar with the B7. That was really bad. There we go. And an A. Now, I play my A wrong, so all you guitar players out there who are perfectionists, don't yell at me, because it's just the way I do it, and it works for me. Yeah, well, whatever. So I just do an A. My A sounds kind of like that. It's actually like an A6 something. I don't know. I'm not a chord master. And we're also going to throw a G in on the verse. Pretty simple. So there you go. Those chords. So we're going to start out with that E minor 7. Figure out the strumming pattern. It's pretty much, I do it by feel anyway. Now, what I did there, that's pretty much the whole verse of the song. They basically just repeat that over and over. So, the E minor 7 to the C, and we're going to play an arpeggio on a few strings of the C to sound like to the B7. Back to that E minor 7. So, E minor 7, C to the B7, back to the E minor 7. So that's pretty much the verse. Then for the chorus, he comes up and he just drops straight into a nice old G chord, strums that to an A, back to the E minor 7, to the G, to that A, back to the E minor 7, G. Then we're going to do a little walk up the A string from A to B to C. We're going to do an arpeggio on that C again. An arpeggio on that B7 again. Arpeggio is a technical term, by the way. Just throwing that out there. So we go, what did I say? C. Or, sorry. Oh, the walk up. I'm sorry. I lost my place there for a second. And that's the verse. So G, A, E minor 7, walk up. And then he goes into a little bridge part where he's doing the I'm half the man I used to be, feeling dawns, whatever the lyrics are there. I'm not going to subject it to my singing at all. But basically he's fretting the B here, the first B on the A string, and he's plucking the first 3 strings in each succession. Then he comes up to the F sharp on the E string, to the G on the E string, that's it. And he does that 8 sets of that for a total of 16 times. And I'm kind of running out of time here. This thing only records in 10-minute segments. Then he goes to the, there's a pause in the song. We go up here and we do the bass run. Drop right back into the E minor 7. That's the song. And if you like it, drop me a line. If you don't like it, drop me a line. That's all I got to say about that.